Now we will move to the academic highlight of today's program, a scholarly exploration into Jain philosophy. It is my privilege to introduce Dr. Natalia Zelesnova from the Institute of Oriental Studies, Moscow. Dr. Natalia has done a PhD diploma on Jain philosophy, the Jain doctrine of path to liberation, Moksha Marg, in Russian. She has written several books and articles, translated 14 Jain scriptures in Russian, and currently she is working on translation of Padmaprabha Maladhari Deva's Niyamsar Vritti. Dr. Natalia has received various international awards for her efforts. Her work has been widely acknowledged and appreciated. She will be delivering a lecture on doctrine of Atman in Jain mysticism. There will be a question and answer round at the end, so you can make your notes accordingly and note down your queries. And we would now like to invite Dr. Natalia. Please give her a big round of applause.
शायद आपको लोगों को पता है कि मुझे हिंदी बहुत पसंद है, लेकिन फिर भी मेरी हिंदी जो है खिचड़ी हिंदी है, मतलब अच्छी हिंदी नहीं है। तो क्योंकि मैं थोड़ी सी परेशान हो जाती हूँ तो अंग्रेजी में बोलूंगी, लेकिन अगर कोई प्रश्न होती है तो हिंदी में प्रश्न कर सकती है। So my topic is the doctrine of Atman in Jain mysticism, Jain tradition. It is this speech based on my work, recent work, which was published by Russian Academy and Russian government in most prestigious series of books which we called Black Valley. It is a translation of Brahmadeva's commentary on most famous Digambar mystics' works written by Yugindu, Paramatma Prakasha, and commentary Paramatma Prakasha Vritti. So the term encompassing mystical and mysticism in Jainism is the Sanskrit concept Adhyatma. Literally means belonging to Atman, relating to oneself, or another meaning going beyond the self. Atman plus upsarg adhi. Starting from the early Middle Ages, it is frequently found in Jain philosophical texts, usually in commentaries. The mystical trend in Jainism, particularly its Digambara branch, is represented by writings of several authors whose works contains teachings on various types of spiritual substance, Atman. Historically speaking, the earliest collection of such texts attributed to Kunda Kunda Acharyas. We called it Corpus Kunda Kundae, which means collection of Kunda Kunda's works. These works comprising this collection have consistently enjoyed immense popularity among Jain adherents in the past, and interest in them remains strong today, till nowadays. They are regularly reprinted and translated from Prakrit, Sanskrit into different languages, both Indian, I mean Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, Kannada, and European as well, mostly definitely in English. Furthermore, Indologists studying Jain mysticism primarily turn to Kunda Kunda's texts, Kunda Kunda's collection of texts. Many contemporary scholars, both Indian and Western, note a certain spiritual, or I should say rather intellectual continuity in Kunda Kunda's spiritual lineage, जो अपने लोग बोलते हैं Kunda Kunda परंपरा है. The Corpus Kunda Kundae present the doctrine of three types of Atman. The basic premise of this doctrine lies in the assertion that the Atman can be external, Prakrit Bahirappa, Sanskrit Bahiratman, internal, Prakrit Antarappa and Sanskrit Antaratman, and supreme, Prakrit Paramappa, Sanskrit Paramatman. The first kind of Atman includes those who identify their self their I, idea of personality, with external attributes. The body, family, relations, communities, friends, and possessions. The second type of Atman, internal, is characteristic of faithful followers of Jainism, true ascetic monks and most pious lay people, living in accordance with the teaching of Tirthankaras and living in accordance with Jain Dharma. That is inner Atman, Antaratman. The Supreme Atman, Paramatman, is considered to be only those who have reached the stage of self-realization, having cast off all worldly ties and freed themselves from any bonds of ignorance. This teaching, formulated in the Corpus Kunda Kundai, received its further development in the subsequent Jain tradition and primarily in the work of Digambara author Yogindo. We called it between 6th and 10th century because the work based and written in Apagramsha. So it's quite difficult to understand to which century it belongs. Work is titled Paramapapayasu, matlab in Apagramsha. But better known by his Sanskrit title, Paramatma Prakasha. Paramatma Prakasha means the light of Supreme Atman. The doctrine of three kinds of Atman is expounded in the first Adhikara, first chapter of Yogindo's work. There are three kinds of Atman. The first one, stupid. Second one, intelligent. And other, Brahma. Those who take only the body for Atmas are foolish people. In the above verse, Yogindo means three Atman: outer, inner, and higher. Jain authors calls the external Atman the body and what is associated with it: family, wealth, property, community, etc. Such an understanding of human self is quite logical, both from a psychological perspective and from the cultural point of view. Within the framework of Indian traditional society since ancient time and partly to the present, a person has correlated himself with external characteristics and connections, because a person is completely determined by his belonging to a certain community, including clan community, social relationships, and ties, and possession of certain property, land, farm or house, livestock, wealth, and so on. In the modern context, the possession of an object, wardrobe item, or even technical device also acts as a way of self-identification or self-presentation. उदाहरण के लिए हम लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं कि मैं बस एप्पल का यूज करती हूँ, सैमसंग का ये मुझे पसंद नहीं है, मैं एप्पल का मैन और मैं एप्पल का महिला हूँ, और I don't wear cheap things, for example, or I use only eco-friendly products. It means that I identify myself with a certain things which are not actually mine, but still हम मेरा आत्मन जो है, मतलब मेरी चीजें जो है ये मैं हूँ, एप्पल की eco-friendly product की ऐसी बात है. In other words, the idea of personality is the totality of those things those belongs me, surround me. I am someone who uses certain particular things and will not acquire others that do not correspond to this idea of my own self. For example, आप लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं कि हम लोग बस शुद्ध शाकाहारी है, मतलब हम लोग मांस खाने वाले नहीं है. ये आत्मा की बात है या बॉडी की बात है, किचन की बात है या स्पिरिचुअलिटी की बात है? फर्क तो है ना. a person in the full sense of this word Atman, I, is only someone who is embedded in this complex hierarchical structure marked in ancient Indian society by the externally ambiguous, very difficult to be translated term, but everybody knows that term. This term called dharma. A person is born into and within certain dharma, lives according to the dharma, follows it, and is supported by dharma. Because the word dharma comes from the verb dhr, इसका मतलब ये है to support. Dharma मतलब support, supporter. It is bound for both, for individual and the whole society. There is swadharma है, personal का, व्यक्तिगत धर्म है, और पूरी जो दुनिया है, पूरी दुनिया का धर्म भी है. Outside of the dharma, there is no and cannot be any human being outside of the totality of social, religious, and moral duties. And the rights, definitely, because the rights are considered as a consequences of dharma, of the duties. There will be no any rights without duties. सबसे ज्यादा धर्म, उसके बाद जो दूसरी वाली चीज होती है, तो धर्म सबसे ज्यादा पहला है. It is quite justified and natural to correlate a person with external connections and characteristics within the framework of the traditional society of ancient and medieval India, since such external factors ensure a person's self-identity when answering a question, who is this person? He is a Jain, he is a Hindu, he is Muslim, he is Indian, he is lady, he is man, and so on. In this sense, such a person, his idea of I, who am I, his idea of external Atman, it is a set of external parameters, external factors, external characteristics. This is a basic level of understanding of self-identification of any human personality. हम लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं कि मुझे दर्द लगी हुई है. मतलब इसका क्या मतलब है? दर्द किसका है? आत्मन का या मेरा शरीर का? फिर भी मैं ऐसे बोलती हूँ कि मैं थक गई हूँ, मुझे भूख लगी हुई है. मतलब भूख तो किसका है? मेरा शरीर का है, मेरा बहिर आत्मन का है. या मेरा नहीं है. और मैं महिला हूं, मैं रूस से आ गई हूं, मैं रूसी हूं, मतलब कौन हूं मैं? मेरा आत्मन कौन है? रूसी है ना? या नहीं है? The idea of I has bodily experiences of pleasure and suffering and remembers the impressions of these feelings. Human existence is primarily a vital activity of the physical body embedded in a system of interaction with other beings. From an ordinary point of view, knowledge about these factors, these external parameters, the religious and social communities' affiliation, and the appearance of the person in Indian culture is quite enough, both for the person himself and for the other people to say who this individual, who is this person is, and what it is. However, when it comes to the understanding of human nature, the essence of being human, such an approach turns out to be insufficient and even more incorrect. Thus, and now I return to Yoginda's ideas, Yoginda calls those who relate their Atman to their body as fools. A father, a mother as well, a sister, a house, a son, a friend, and property are a network of illusion, and that a fool considers his own. In the context of Indian philosophical tradition in general, and the Jain tradition in particular, such a statement sounds quite appropriate. ठीक है? Because the spiritual substance and Atman is thought of as an eternal entity that goes from one level of existence to another, and this human body is just a replaceable shell, wardrobe, or clothes, I should say, which is not identical to the nature of the soul itself. If I of a person, personality, his Atman or her Atman is not a body, not a family, not a community, not a religion, etc. In several verses debunking the false identification of idea of person of Atman, Yogindu insistently repeats what Atman is really not. I will not show the presentation, just in few words. Atman is neither light nor dark. Atman is never red. Atman is never subtle, never gross. Atman is not Brahmana, not Vaishya, not Kshatriya, not Shudra. Atman is not man, not woman. Atman is not Pandit, no fool. And so on. Atman is never a Vandaka, nor a Kshapanaka, nor a Gurava. Vandaka matlab Shvetambar, Kshapanaka matlab Digambar, Gurava matlab Buddhist. इसका मतलब ये है कि आत्मन श्वेतांबर नहीं है, दिगंबर भी नहीं है और बुद्धिस्ट नहीं है. वैसे तो हिंदू भी नहीं है. सही बात है माताजी, सही बात है, राष्ट्र नहीं है. Atman is not a teacher, not a student. It is not a master or servant. It is not. He is not brave, no coward. It's not tall nor short. Atman is not man, not human being, even not a creator. All those qualities, general and special, specific, by which individual existence is described, have nothing to do with the essence of Atman. Caste, body, shell, level of existence, man, god, animal, or inhabitants of hell, gender, etc., are just different types of karmic matter due to the type of connectedness to the world of samsara. There are only modes. Modes are means of manifestation or inherited limitation through which the nature of substance, in this case, in this particular Jain case, the soul, manifests itself in the cycle of birth and death. These modes are transitory and do not relate to the essence itself. Therefore, any identification with any other modes will be false. Second Atma, Yogindu calls intelligent Atman, or according to Brahmadeva, his commentator, the inner Atman, which has been transformed by knowledge of dispassionate, imageless self-awareness. Like Kunda Kunda, Brahmadeva understands the second type of Atman as one who has awakened from the illusion of identification with the material world and reject false teachings. This person engaged in prescribed forms of meditation. In Jain context, it means Dharm Dhyan or Shukla Dhyan, to reach his or her personal goal, aim. In general, the inner self is the Atman that recognizes its true nature as knowledge and its goal as realization of this particular kind of knowledge. It directs its all efforts towards achieving this goal, acting as a manifestation of pure knowledge. The inner self is endowed with a triple jewelry, Triratna, Ratnatraya, and has embarked on the path of liberation. Actually, to tell the truth, the second type, the internal Atman, is intermediate by its nature. It's not the last stage. As Yogindu says, the realized self consisting of knowledge, whereby it is free from karma. Having completely freed yourself from all alien substance, know your own Atma as a supreme. Supreme Atma is a spiritual substance in itself and for itself. Is thought of by the Jain teachers as unchangeable. It does not transform itself under the influence of any alien substance, alien entity, physical or mental karma, and the body as one of the karmic types. Does not take anything other than itself. The Supreme Self is eternal and identical only to itself. By its nature, it is endowed with 4 unlimited qualities, Anant Gun jo hai, perfect knowledge, Samyak Gyan, perfect vision, Samyak Darshan, perfect conduct, Samyak Charitra, or actually Anant Charitra. Anant Darshan, Anant Gyan, Anant Charitra, or Anant Virya, perfect energy. It can be said that to be in unshakable bliss and peace, which is why that is called in Yogindu's Paramatma Prakasha, Supreme Atman is called, designated by word Shiv. It looks strange, but it doesn't mean the name of the god. It means the meaning of the word Shiv, blissful, good, and so on. Throughout the whole text of Paramatma Prakasha, and definitely through Paramatma Prakasha Vritti commentary, written, the boundless happiness that arises in the excellent munis when they see their Atman, they perceive their own Atman, this happiness is gained by the dispassionate soul knowing the peaceful Shiv, which means Supreme Atman, Paramatman. In Jain context, Brahmadeva reveals the meaning of this Doha because Paramatma Prakasha written in Apabhramsha in Doha style, in Doha verses. Brahmadeva reveals the meaning. The real meaning of this Doha is like this. The happiness that arises for the excellent munis, for the excellent jinas, while they experience their pure Atman, is designated by the word Shiva during the initiation, during the Diksha. This happiness is acquired by the soul immersed in impassive, image-free concentration. So it means that those who worship the deity, the particular deity, calling him Shiva, or Vishnu, or Parameshvara, jo bhi ho, are actually mistaken from Yogindu's point of view, directing their minds toward false images and indulging in illusion. God is not in the sanctuary and also not in decoration. God is not in ointment, not in the image. Indestructible, unsullied, and consists of knowledge. Shiva is stable in calm mind. It doesn't mean that author Yogindu advocate iconoclasm. It is not about denying the form of religious rituals or denying murti, which are accepted in different religious communities, different religious practices. Yogindu just emphasized the idea of whom or what is actually being worshipped in these particular rituals. The one who sees the higher Atman, which is totally different from the body and consists of knowledge, this one established in high concentration, this person is real Pandit, wise man. However, having achieved success in understanding inner Atman, for the sake of realizing the Supreme, one should also reject this inner Atman, because in comparison with true essence of the soul, the second one is considered to be false. The highest Atman is called only and exclusively by its own nature of the spiritual substance, self-knowledge, self-awareness. This essence is inherently inexpressible, cannot be characterized by the help, by the means of any words, because all possible characteristics, all definitions turn out to be meaningless and powerless in describing it, because they do not express nature. All that one can do on the path of knowledge of the self is just to try least inappropriate word. I mean, जो सारे शब्द होते हैं, ये सारे शब्द अनुचित है, मतलब सही नहीं है, लेकिन इनके बीच में ये जो सबसे ज्यादा अनुचित है और सबसे ज्यादा जो थोड़ा सा उचित है, at least inappropriate words through which we can describe the Supreme Paramatman. This Supreme Atman could be called in various ways, definitely, including the name of different gods, Hara, Shiva, or Hari, Vishnu, so on. Only one who contemplates on Hari and Hara, who has become a Siddha, is revered or worshipped in three worlds. Having firmly established what is characterized through which is not characterized, understand it as a supreme Atman. Therefore, it doesn't matter what the object of worship is called, only the reality behind the name, that does matter. Commentator Brahmadeva repeatedly emphasized that Supreme Atman, only he is the Supreme Brahma. Only that Supreme Atman, only is Supreme Vishnu. Only he is a Supreme Shiva. In his manifested form, he is called the Blessed Arhat or Siddhatman. The Supreme Atman or Supreme Brahma or Shiva, which dwells in Atman, that is the real truth. The meaning here is that like that, where the liberated Atman resides at the top of the universe. This is the real word of Paramatma. This is the real world of Vishnu. This is the real world of Brahma. मैं बस ऐसा कहना चाहती हूँ कि जो हिंदू लोग कहते हैं ये असली गोकुल है, असली वैकुंठ है, असली कैलाश है, ये असली जगह ये है सिद्धि क्षेत्र का. The doctrine of three Atmanas in Paramatma Prakasha and Paramatma Prakasha Vritti is characterized by a kind, I should call it non-confessional. It's not strictly devoted to Jainism. If you do not know about the author's affiliation, that Yogindu and his commentator belong to Jain Digambar community, you will never find out any clear idea that it is Digambar text or Jain text. It's open to every heart, every mind. It's open to everybody, actually. It is due to the fact that the idea of the author of Paramatma Prakasha are not actually specifically and exclusively Jains. And they are quite consistently integrated into a general Indian idea of the nature of spiritual substance, Atman. Maybe आपको लोगों को पता है कि उपनिषद टेक्स्ट क्या चीज होते हैं. The most famous in this regard, I mean, doctrine of three Atmans, it's Upanishad calls Katha Upanishad, and especially Taittiriya Upanishad. Section of Bliss of Brahman, chapter 2 to 5, and the end of 8th chapter. The Taittiriya Upanishad speaks of five Atmans, five types of Atmans, as if embedded in each other, like a dagger in a sheath. और मेरा उदाहरण ये है कि हमारे संस्कृति जो है एक छोटा सा डोल है. We called it matryoshka. ये दौल है खेलने के लिए छोटा सा, सबसे ज्यादा छोटा सा, दूसरे वाले इससे बड़ा है और उसके बारे बड़ा है। पांच दौल है, एक ही अंदर है। ऐसी उदाहरण के लिए तो इन तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ये कहते हैं कि first of them, the first level of identifying Atman, which means Annamaya Atman. Annamaya मतलब फूड का, ग्रॉस बॉडी का, क्योंकि जब मुझे भूख लगी हुई है और आई एम टायर्ड, इसका मतलब ये है कि मेरा आत्मन, ये मेरा शरीर है। The second one is consisting of pranmaya Atman. The third one is man ki baat hai, manomay man. I can identify myself with my body. I'm lady, I'm Rusi, I'm vegetarian, so on. It's my body. I can usually identify my breathing because प्राण के बिना तो जीव नहीं सकती, है ना? तो इसका मतलब ये है कि अगर मैं जीवित हूं, मतलब मेरे प्राण में है। ये दूसरी वाली बात है। तीसरी वाली बात ये तो है कि मैं स्कॉलर्स हूँ, विदुषी हूँ, मैं रूसी आ गई हूँ, मैं रशियन एकेडमी ऑफ साइंसेस काम करती हूँ, मतलब बड़ी महिला हूँ मैं। इसका मतलब ये है कि मैं जो मेरे मन में है, मेरा ज्ञान में है, मतलब जानकारी जो मेरे पास है काफी बड़ी है, इसीलिए मैं डॉक्टर नतालिया जेलेज़नोवा हूँ, बहुत समझदार मैं हूँ। ऐसी बात है। मन माया आत्मा मेरा है। और the fourth one is composed of consciousness. Vigyanmaya Atman hai. According to Taittiriya Upanishad. And the fifth one, the last one, Anandmaya hai. Anandmaya hai, sabse zyada unchi hai. The Atman consisting of food is an ordinary gross body that every human is endowed with. The second one, and Atman enters this physical body after the conception and gives birth to the individual. As I say, there is no any living body without pran. The Atman consisting of mind is defined by mind, manas, endowed with the ability of doubts and the 5 cognitive abilities, which हम लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं इंद्रिया. The kind of Atman causes the desire of external object of the senses, which leads to the connection between various samsaric pleasures, inclinations, ऐसा होता है, of the soul. The fourth Atman arises as a result of combination of buddhi, understanding, ability of understanding, and ability to make a decision, and connection with 5 indriyas. The later type of Atman is a set of mental states that occur in deep, dreamless sleep, characterized by lasting calm. So, जैसे आपकी मर्जी, जो आप लोग हैं, वेजिटेरियन हूं मैं, शाकाहारी हूं मैं, मेरा बॉडी है, रूसी हूं मैं, महिला हूं मैं, ये तो बेसिक लेवल है। अगर मुझे कोई ज्ञान है, मतलब एबिलिटीज, समझदारी, जिम्मेदारी, तो ये दूसरा लेवल है, ऊंची लेवल है। अगर आपका चाहे तो मैं बस साड़ी के साथ, सलवार सूट के साथ, गाड़ी, ज्वेलरी के साथ मैं ऐसी पहनती हूँ कि मैं हूं, क्योंकि मैं ये अपीयरेंस है, व्यक्तित्व है ना। मैं लेडी हूं, इसका मतलब ये है कि मैं सलवार कमीज पहनना चाहती हूँ और साड़ी पहनना चाहती हूँ। लेकिन ऊंची लेवल है मेरा जो इनर एक्सपीरियंस है, अंतर अनुभव है। हम लोग ऐसे घूमते हैं दिखने के लिए, दूसरे लोगों को मिलने के लिए, दूसरी जगह देखने के लिए, वाओ ये इतना अच्छा जगह है, काश मैं यहाँ रहूंगी, ये पानी पीने का सब कुछ व्यवस्था है, ये मेरा लाइफ, ये मेरा लक्ष्य है। शायद जवान लोगों को ये पसंद है कि काश मेरे पास लैम्बोर्गिनी होती है ना और मैं ऐसा आराम करूंगी कि पूरी जिंदगी में घुमाने की कोशिश करती हूँ, क्योंकि ये मेरा जिंदगी का लक्ष्य है, दूसरे लोगों के मिलने के लिए और दूसरी जगह देखने के लिए। अगर ये मेरे पास नहीं है, ये एबिलिटीज, ये मेरे लिए असंभव है, तो मेरा जिंदगी बिल्कुल बेमतलब निकलेगा और बिल्कुल व्यर्थ होगा, है ना। लेकिन ऐसे बात नहीं है। मतलब जो मैं योगिंद्र के बारे में और तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद के बारे में मैं इस तरह बोल रही हूँ, ये ठीक नहीं है। मतलब ये ह्यूमन बीइंग नहीं है, ये आत्मा नहीं है, ये हमारा लक्ष्य नहीं है। और दूसरी वाली उपनिषद कठोपनिषद, इसमें लिखा हुआ है कि 3 आत्मन होती है, ज्ञानात्मन, Mahatman and Shantatman. Atman made of peace. Why should I give this example? Just to make a connection between Jain tradition, which not very lots of people know about Jainism, especially, for example, in Russia, nobody knows. जैनिज्म क्या चीज है। जब मैं भारत में जाने वाली थी टैक्सी ड्राइवर के साथ एयरपोर्ट तक, एक डिस्कशन, एक चर्चा हुई थी कि जैनिज्म क्या है। उन्होंने कहा, मैडम आप कहाँ जाने वाली है? मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि आप इजिप्ट जाने वाले हैं। नहीं, ऐसा बात नहीं है। तो ड्राइवर ने कहा कि शायद दुबई में जाने वाली है। नहीं, ऐसी बात नहीं है। शायद थाईलैंड, वियतनाम, जो भी हो। चाइना तो नहीं है? नहीं, चाइना नहीं है। और लास्ट ऑप्शन वो इंडिया। मैं भारत जाने वाली हूँ भाई। किस खुशी के लिए? शायद गोवा के लिए, आराम करने के लिए। नहीं, ऐसी बात नहीं है। तो किस खुशी के लिए अब मैडम इंडिया आ जाती है? मैंने कहा कि मैं जैन स्कॉलर्स हूँ, जैन धर्म अनुसंधान करने के लिए। उसने इतना आश्चर्य हुआ है कि ये जैन क्या है, जैन धर्म क्या है। और मैंने कहा, शायद आपको तो पता नहीं है कि जैन लोग शाकाहारी लोग हैं। उन्होंने कहा, नामुमकिन है, हमारे देश में ये बिल्कुल मना है, सुविधा नहीं है, उचित नहीं है, बिल्कुल पागलपन है। तो मैं ऐसा कहना चाहती हूँ कि कोई ना कोई कनेक्शन, संबंध है, सहयोग है। And returning to the Yoginda's text, it's quite obvious that the idea of different types of Atman are formulated within a framework of teaching of the followers of the Tirthankaras Kunda Kunda and his circle, his disciples, spiritual disciples, and supported by subsequent Jain teachers and spiritual leaders and commentators, draws inspiration from the previous tradition and develops the idea of the soul in accordance with the ideas of Jainism, but adapts to its spiritual need, adapts to the spiritual need of his adherents, I mean for Jain people. However, that is my main point actually, that this doctrine, Yogindus, Kunda Kundas, Brahmadeva, jo bhi ho, doctrine is partly inclusive, not exclusive, inclusive in nature, since it includes all Indian concept and ideas, thereby appealing to a wider potential audience, which means to a great variety of Indian mystical movements, and to tell the truth, to the whole world. Everybody can find the meaning, the reason in that particular doha, in that particular text, and so on. I mean, it is open to everybody, because To tell the truth, if we will try to find the real meaning of ritual practice, whom we should worship, what substance, which substance we should worship, in every religious tradition, ये इसका नाम आत्मन है, परमात्मन है, चाहे शिव है, चाहे विष्णु है, चाहे परमेश्वर, जो भी हो, लेकिन इसका सबसे ऊंचा लेवल ये तो परमात्मन है, ये तो असली देती नहीं है, ये असली भाव है, स्वभाव है, ये असली जो आपने बताया था ट्रूथ, ये सत्य है, सच है, बस। जय जिनेंद्र। अगर कोई क्रिटिक्स होते हैं तो मुझे क्रिटिक बहुत पसंद है। मतलब जो मेरा विचार है, कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है आप लोगों के लिए ये उचित नहीं है, ये ठीक नहीं है, तो अगर आप क्रिटिसाइज करेंगे तो मेरा मन में जो है तो करेक्ट ठीक करने के लिए तो मैं तैयार हूं।
Thank you so much for this amazing presentation. It was quite insightful. Let's have a huge round of applause for Dr. Natalia.
आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद है आपके ध्यान के लिए।
Before we get into the question and answer round, I just want to mention that we have Dr. Anekan Jain among us. He is chairing the event today. Thank you so much for your presence, sir. Please have a huge round of applause for him as well. Thank you. So, who would like to go first? All right.
Thank you, Natalia ji. I was really enjoyed. Learned a lot. Not a critique, but being a philosopher, I have to engage in some conceptual clarification.
Yeah, I understand.
That I need.
From academical perspective, from academical point of view, I understand.
Yeah, yes, okay, right. So, a couple of questions. First, when I saw the title, it sort of occurred to me, have I heard of Jain philosophers talking about Atman, or I heard them talking about Jiva? So the term Jiva, right? Jiva. Mm-hmm. So that's what I kind of understand the idea of soul in the sort of internal that you spoke about, the more spiritual substance in sort of Descartes' sense, if you like, and has the clear light of mind as it rises, but rises internally rather than in any external. So the term Atman, it sort of gets propagated more, I think it's in the Vedic material, but more in the Upanishadic. But the kind of metaphysical nuance, the overlay of Atman has moved, pushed more by Vedanta.
Yes, it's true. It is true.
Than Mimamsa or Nyaya. They're the Atma, they call it, rather than Atman, because I want to make it masculine rather than neuter. That would be one reason. Or also to differentiate it from the Upanishadic. But it always becomes isomorphic with Brahman, not Brahma, but Brahman as the universal spirit, Geist in, Hegel's sense, if you like.
जो सच्चिदानंद होता है.
Yeah, and panpsychic. Shankara wouldn't even give it those properties. He would say it's Purna, maybe. And so forth. For Shankara, Brahman has no definition. I think in the way that Atman has also been talked about when you said, it's indefinable and so on. So they use neti to eliminate. But the point that I wanted to get to was more ontological. There is ultimately no identification of Atman with any overarching thing like Brahman, right? It's not panpsychic. It is still individual, if you like. Exactly. So when it goes to the Siddhaloka, it's still individual, even though it may be omniscient. It was Sarvagya, and everybody's Sarvagya has to be the same. Because the Christian theologians had argued, and the Buddhists also, that there can only be one Sarvagya. But it doesn't mean to say that there is merger of any kind. So is it okay to use Atman still in Jainism, but very distinguished from, even the five sheets, the koshas in the Isha Upanishad.
Panchkosh hai.
But
Sir,
Panchkosha.
excuse me, sir. Sorry to disturb.
Okay.
But it's a question answer. ये तो दो scholars की discussion शुरू हो गई.
So the question.
Sorry to interrupt.
So the question
but
is.
we need to move on with
the question is. I mean, the Upanishads don't talk about them as Atman. If you peel the layers, then you get to Atman. But in Jain, you seem to be saying that they're using Atman for personal identity, psychological continuity, even misidentification. But is that appropriate for them to be using that?
Yeah, I
but
think
not isolating.
That
I understand
After
your
the
question.
session, I think you can clarify his doubt. Yeah, I think it's going to be a long discussion.
Yeah,
otherwise,
definitely.
Right?
We'll
any other
discuss it
question?
after some time.
Yes, yes.
But
Any other question?
The short answer, it is quite okay with Jainism आत्मन के बारे में बातचीत करने का. इसमें लिखा हुआ है, पूरी जो टेक्स्ट है आत्मन लिखा हुआ है. ये मेरा इन्वेंशन नहीं है, ये जैन धर्म का है. It is true that there is Atman. And the difference between Jiv and Atman in Jainism, it looks like in Shankara's tradition. In Shankara's commentaries on Brahma Sutra, it is the same. The difference between Jiv is Atman, which is incorporated in the body, and Atman is a pure sense of that being.
Yeah.
That is the short. And we can
So
discuss it.
I think now we will move on to the next question. But मैं आपसे request करती हूँ छोटे questions हो crisp. Natalia will answer in a crisp manner. So
You can touch me after some time. Definitely, I'm
Yes.
free open.
किसको दूँ मैं?
Natalia, it's very nice to see you progress in the last 15 years, ever since you came
कोशिश
to.
करती हूँ, कोशिश करते रहती हूँ.
Yes. Now the question is, you have come to a point in your study of philosophy, Jain philosophy, you talk of Hari, Har, and Brahma. Okay. So with this and your accomplishment in literature, how do you propose to propagate this philosophy in Moscow? Where you have such big,
धन्यवाद आपको. I am not a propagator. I am a scholar. My point is to make people know what it is, real it is, and what is reality. Maybe ऐसा लगता है कि मैं दूत हूँ. ऐसा काम करती हूँ क्योंकि मैं शुद्ध शाकाहारी, आपको मालूम है, शुद्ध शाकाहारी 16 उम्र के अभी तक, और मैं शराब कभी नहीं पीने वाली हूँ. मेरा मतलब मैं जो बोलती हूँ, जो मैं काम करती हूँ, ये मेरा प्रवचन है बस. हाँ, इसीलिए तो I am trying to make people know about that and to experience them. There is a ground for that. It's not only exclusively Jain ground. It is pan-Indian, and it is open for not only for Jain or Indian people. It is open for everybody. I understand it's difficult. Moscow ये मुमकिन नहीं है. अभी ठंडा -20. ये लोग कहते हैं कि शराब पीने के बिना और मांस खाने के बिना ये जीव नहीं सकता. हो सकता है, ये बस बहाना है.
Next question, please. मन्नत उधर देखिए.
Jayajini ma'am, just now you were talking about mental status in external and Brahmatma. Where do we keep subconscious and conscious mind when we talk, how do we relate it with Atma? That when we are having subconscious mind, how do we relate it? Do we call it supernatural power or something else?
My point was, but it may be not very clarified and not very clear. Atman, the first verbal meaning, according to vocabularies, it is Atman, इसका मतलब स्वयं, I. It's not, first meaning, it's not a supreme substance or spiritual substance. Not. Atman means मैं, aham. I'm trying to explain the ideas with which we can identify ourselves from different levels, from different level of understanding. So if you are satisfied with your bodily experiences, it's okay. Most people, ज़्यादातर लोग ये ऐसा जीते हैं ना, तो हमको खाना पीना सुख बस काफी है. मैं शरीर हूँ और मैं ऐसा बोलती रहती हूँ कि मुझे हेडेक लगा हुए है, मेरे शरीर में दर्द होती है. मैं ऐसा लगता है कि पूरे हमेशा मैं दूसरे लोगों के, जैन लोगों के लिए ऐसी बोलती हूँ, मैं बस शरीर हूँ. क्योंकि जब शरीर में दर्द होते हैं, स्पिरिचुअल की सब्सटेंस दूर की बात है ना. क्योंकि जो दर्द है ये तो सबसे ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण चीज है, चाहे वो सिर का दर्द या दंत का दर्द, फिर भी फोकस दर्द पे है. बट आफ्टर दैट, if I am quite comfortable in my life, I can identify myself, that is my case, with my knowledge that मेरे पास इतने गौरव है, अभिमान है, अहंकार है, मैं इतनी बड़ी हूं मैं. I mean, it is with what sort of level you would like to identify. I am academician, I am a teacher, I am that line. I was been awarded for different types of awards. That I am Natalia Zheleznova, but it's not true. According to Jain Dharma, it's not true. ये नतालिया जेलेज़नोवा नहीं है. मतलब नतालिया जेलेज़नोवा का असली अर्थ ये नहीं है. इसका असली अर्थ अंतरात्मा नहीं है. इसका असली अर्थ दूसरा वाला है जो मैं अभी तक पहुंचने वाली नहीं हूं.
I hope that answers your question. We'll be taking 2 more questions, 2 last questions. Go by the order.
I wanted to ask you that which ethical principle of Jainism connected you the most to this philosophy?
Connected, you mean universal ethics or?
No, in Jainism too, which ethical principle you like the most, and how did you get connected with Jainism?
ठीक है, धन्यवाद आपको. मुझे ये सबसे ज्यादा पसंद है जो मैं अपनाया. मतलब शाकाहारी, अहिंसा, सूर्यास्त के बाद मैं भोजन नहीं लेती. और वैसे तो कल हम लोग ऐसी चर्चा की है त्याग करने के लिए. सही मुझे बहुत पसंद है और त्याग मुझे करना चाहिए, लेकिन जो मेरे पास है मुझे काफी नहीं लगती है, मुझे ज्यादा चाहिए, लेकिन इतनी शक्ति वाली नहीं हूँ. कोशिश करती हूँ, मतलब जैसे.
How sweet. That's really nice. Last question.
It's not a question, it's just that you were 16 when you
Yeah.
gave up.
Yeah,
You were a vegetarian.
yeah.
I am from a Jain family, so I'm a vegetarian and a teetotaler. How come you were able to identify at that time, because you were in a different society?
हमारी संस्कृति
altogether.
बिल्कुल अलग है, बिल्कुल.
हाँ,
ये सही बात है.
हाँ. I'm being personal, sorry. Huh?
समझ गए. क्योंकि जब मैं पूरे भारत में घूमती थी, चाहे समेत शिखर, गिरनार जी, श्रावण बेलगोला, दिल्ली में सोनागिरी, पूरी पदयात्रा में मैंने कर ऐसा प्रश्न होता है. ये कैसा हो सकता है, आप महिला है, ऋषि आ गई है, ये कैसा हो सकता. मैंने ये जवाब दे सकती हूँ कि उस टाइम में मुझे एक किताब मिल गई थी इंडियन फिलोसफी के बारे में, रूसी भाषा में. इसमें छोटा सा अध्याय थी जैनिज्म के बारे में. ये पहली किताब मुझे मिल गई जिसमें जैनिज्म के बारे में लिखा हुआ था. इसमें लिखा हुआ था अहिंसा के बारे में, अनेकांत के बारे में, थोड़ी सी जानकारी, ज्यादा नहीं वाली. लेकिन मुझे ऐसा अजीब सा लगता है कि ये लोग जो अहिंसा फॉलोअर्स, ऐसा लग रहा है कि पागल है लोग है क्या। सो मैंने फैसला कर लिया कि मैं बस आश्चर्य हुआ, कोशिश करूंगी ये क्या चीज है। और मैंने ये मेरी माता जी को बता दिया है कि मॉम आई वुड लाइक टू बी शाकाहारी। उन्होंने कहा कि नतालिया ये पागल है बिल्कुल, ये कैसा हो सकता है हमारे सोसाइटी में। क्योंकि जो मेरी पूरी फैमिली, जो बहन है, फ्रेंड्स है, कॉलीग्स है, स्टूडेंट्स है, सब लोग मांस खाने वाले हैं, अभी तक शराब पीने वाले हैं। ऐसा हो सकता है, मतलब इतनी प्रभावित ये चैप्टर था और धीरे धीरे चलती थी। तो मैंने अभी फैसला कर लिया कि ये सबसे ज्यादा अच्छा तरीका है, ये असली रास्ता है मांस खाने के बिना। मैं जैन नहीं हूं, असली जैन नहीं हूं, मैंने कह दिया मेरे कोई श्रद्धा नहीं है, लेकिन जो मुझे पसंद लगता है यह अहिंसा, दूसरे अनेकांत जैन मुझे बहुत पसंद उदाहरण दे दिया पॉडकास्ट में। बहुत अच्छे पॉडकास्ट देख लीजिए, अगर नहीं देखा बहुत अच्छा है। दूसरे लोगों के लिए ये सबसे ज्यादा अच्छे। मुझे आश्चर्य हुआ, पूरा भरोसा नहीं था ये कितना अच्छा होगा। आपने बताया था कि हमारी जो पेट है ये दूसरी जीवन का कब्रिस्तान नहीं है। अच्छा उदाहरण दे दिया, अच्छा हो रहा है, बिल्कुल अच्छा है, बढ़िया है।
आ गया। मुझे एक बात ये पूछनी है कि आपने धर्म के बारे में जो बताया नहीं बताया, पर मुझे ये लगता है कि पता नहीं मैं सही हूँ नहीं, इसीलिए मैं पूछ रही हूँ कि धर्म की परिभाषा, धर्म को परिभाषित करना बहुत मुश्किल है।
सही बात।
तो क्या हम कह सकते हैं कि धर्म वो है जो हम मौलिक मूल्यों को, नैतिक मूल्यों को ध्यान में रखते हुए, परंपराओं को ध्यान में रखते हुए अपने कर्तव्य को सही रूप में पहचान कर और उनका पालन करें, वही धर्म है। तो इसीलिए सभी के लिए धर्म फर्क होगा। क्या मैं सही हूँ? एक तो ये सवाल
सही
है।
बात है, मैं
और
बिल्कुल मान लिया और स्वीकार है।
हाँ, और दूसरी बात ये है कि आपने आत्मा के बारे में सब कहा, पर आत्मा का एक और विशेषण है, वो है अनित्य। मैं ये पूछना चाहती हूँ क्योंकि आत्मा क्या है? आत्मा आनंद स्वरूप है और वो आनंद अनित्य है। अनित्य मतलब जो हमेशा रहने वाला है। तो जो हम देह धारण करके, जो हमारे अंदर आत्मा है, हम लोग देह पे ज्यादा जोर देकर और हम बाहरी सांसारिक चीजों पे आनंद ढूंढते हैं। वो नित्य होता है और उस नित्य को हम सुख नहीं मानते,
सही बात है।
आनंद नहीं मानते। तो इसीलिए आत्मा का एक और रूप है कि वो आनंद स्वरूप है। क्या मैं सही हूँ?
सही है, ये ठीक है, ठीक है।
All right.
मुझे जो तो नोशन है, संज्ञा है धर्म, आपने भी बताया था बहुत अच्छी तरह से। धर्म हमारे सपूत है। धर्म के बिना हम लोग जी नहीं सकते, ये नामुमकिन है बिल्कुल। ये धर्म का मतलब नहीं है ये रिलीजन है, ड्यूटी होती है, सब कुछ होती है, लेकिन ये सपोर्ट। जैसे हम लोग बुरी हो जाती हूँ तो ऐसा दंड के साथ जाती हूँ। धर्म जो है ये सपोर्ट के लिए है, सपोर्ट के बिना हम लोग नहीं जी सकते।
Thank you so much.
धन्यवाद, धन्यवाद आपको।
Let's have a huge round of applause for Dr. Natalia.